and they don't come much newer than Subaru, who made their entry into the World Championship this year. A concerted effort to turn the car into a winner inside 2 years. It's generated a great deal of interest in international rallying, and in the opening round, our 6 drivers will get first-hand experience of the four-wheel drive Subaru Legacy RS. The other manufacturer, new to the competition, is the most famous of all, the world champions Lancia. Works Lancia Delta Integrales provide the test on stage 2, Gale Rig in Yorkshire, and 5 of the 6 drivers will be getting their first real taste of the car that's been virtually unbeatable in World Championship rallying over the last 3 years. The 6th challenge driver knows what the Lancia is all about, but is getting his first experience of the British forests. Alessandro Fiorio, runner-up in the World Championship last year, is one of 2 new faces on the Mobil 1 Rally Challenge. And here's the other. He missed the first year of the competition, but he's putting his sizable reputation on the line this time. David Llewellyn, British champion for the last 2 years, joins Fiorio, Blomqvist, Malcolm Wilson, Pentti Ricola and Louise Aitken-Walker.
Well, obviously watched it all on the television. We weren't on any of the particular stages, but you can see the excitement and the speed that's involved, obviously, on the television. And just learnt a lot just from talking to people here already, how tight it is. I mean, you're doing a 2-mile stage and seconds are so important. So a mistake, I suppose, is a thing that you don't want. Obviously, driving these different cars, mostly 4-wheel drive, I think, which is better. I mean, the Nova I'm somewhat shaky about because I've never driven front-wheel drive competitively, so don't really know what to expect there. 4-wheel drive, obviously, I know fairly well, so I'm not too nervous about that. But it'll be interesting.
And the Pen Macno stage, just outside Betsy Coed in North Wales, is an interesting opening test, very fast, and the pair of hairpins just half a mile from the end can be the key to perfecting a very fast run. So a stage where reactions have to be at their sharpest, while at the same time the drivers are handling a car of which none of them have any experience. 4-wheel drive, left-hand drive, and a gearbox with a character of its own.
Yeah, and it comes back on the slant, yeah? This gear has to come back before it goes on.
Louise Aitken-Walker could afford a smile because the double British champion is due to be the first man down the stage. So for Llewellyn, a practice run which will get him used to the demands of the Subaru.
70, 2 right.
But there was no opportunity to try out that angled gear change. Into second and the Subaru power dies. And for Llewellyn and co-driver Brian Thomas, it's a bewildered coast to the finish line. And the pro-drive boss, David Richards.
And smoke out the exhaust, so yeah, that was not naturally think. Just went off the line, lovely, and just went to second gear.
Elaine, let's just dip the oil and disconnect the turbo oil fuse. Have you got some gloves?
No more than the teething problems of a fledgling World Championship team learning as they're going along. Another manufacturer has learnt a lot about the car on the Acropolis Rally this year when it set fastest time on the opening spectator stage. And on the Thousand Lakes Rally in Finland, it claimed 4th overall for Marco Allen. Subaru's World Championship ambitions seem justified. But back in the forests of Wales, extensive work has been completed and the Subaru Legacy RS is just about ready for 6 drivers to contest the opening stage of the Mobil 1 Rally Challenge. And this is the order they go. So first to go, double British champion David Llewellyn, the man who in the Toyota has dominated British forest rallying over the last 2 years, but now it's the challenge of the Subaru. Llewellyn, co-driver Brian Thomas, poised for the very quick straight that sets the drivers off down this Pen Macno stage.
2 right, and crest, it's open, left over crest, 50.
Simple format to the competition. The 6 drivers all get 1 run in the same manufacturer's car, and this is repeated through the 5 stages. and the lowest aggregate time determines the champion.
3 right, 4 left, tightens.
And from the co-driver, you hear the shorthand pace note instructions that get the driver prepared in advance and setting the car up in advance for what's coming up maybe a few hundred yards down the stage.
4 left, tightens.
Now we're into the first landmark down the stage. This is where we'll be able to check and compare times as the competition goes on. Llewellyn through the opening check in 38 seconds, but now the stage gets very demanding. Downhill, fast, and very twisty.
100.
And Llewellyn there appearing to lock up, sliding into the corner, sliding very, very wide, but he's got away with it. And so important to build up a fast, confident rhythm on sections like this. The Welshman beaten only once in the British Forest in the last 2 years.
2 right.
But he's having problems here. Gear selection problems, one of his worries before the event started.
And caution.
And it really is an awkward gearbox. That was a mess, and that would have cost him quite a few seconds. Handling things a bit better now. The stage opening up and dropping down in perilous fashion there on the right-hand side. But the driver ignoring it. Quite a bit of work had to be done on the car, the gearbox and the transmission also requiring attention. And that means that the runs are not getting started till early evening. The sun will be getting lower, and that may be a big problem for the drivers still to go. Now Llewellyn into the first of the pair of hairpins, and this is another spot where it's easy to lose time. And we'll get another timing check as he exits the second of these. 1:54, the target he sets, quite tidy through there, kept the power down well, and now it's straight and it's flat, around about 80 to 90 miles an hour all the way to the finish, which is less than a quarter of a mile away. And the British champion setting an opening time at Penmachno, 2 minutes 11 seconds, and he and co-driver Brian Thomas know that it could have been better.
After we had for the half.
Well, it seemed to be in gear and then it seemed to come out.
Right.
This really was where the damage was done, just past the halfway point of the stage. The gear change, remember, set at this angle, and Llewellyn has to look down and stir it around a bit, and that could have lost him 4 or 5 seconds.
The gearbox actually jumped out of gear. It wasn't me putting it in properly. Of course, with left-hand drive, this hand's a bit strong and a bit weak on times, you know, so it did jump out of gear once, but I'm not sure I put it in properly, so...
But it's confirmed at 2 minutes 11. We'll only find out
how
good that is in a minute.
That's right, yeah. But it was all a bit exciting anyway.
Excitement next for Louise Aitken-Walker, now confirmed as the first women's world champion and well prepared for the demands of this event.
It's like a short sprint event, and the competition, you know, is very serious, and everybody takes it seriously. And you know, I think inside, you know, you get really nervous and worked up. And I suppose last year you learnt to slightly relax, but not that much.
And some machinery which is very strange, very powerful. The Subaru, first of all, is going to be very hard to get used to.
Yeah, it's a new car for everybody, and you know, it's been out this year, the first year, and I think it's going to be exciting to drive, especially on this stage. But it's very fast and some twisty bits, but I'm sure the four-wheel drive will help a bit.
Four-wheel drive is something that Louise Aitken-Walker has only limited experience of. From alongside come the precise tones of her Swedish co-driver Kristina Torner, and this is the combination that's taken the women's world title after a season-long battle with Paola De Martini.
Too easy right and easy left. Into easy right, slight left. 50 kings. Press easy left. Into slide right. Top and medium left.
Approaching the first time check and a chance to compare Louise with Llewellyn at this point. And Louise is 3 seconds down on Llewellyn. But remember, it's this next section that gave the British champion problems. Louise contested the World Championship with Vauxhall the first year of the women's competition, and her title was confirmed when Martini opted out of the RAC. This run for Louise, well, it's a careful one, a little short on all-out attack. She doesn't seem to have the momentum to challenge Llewellyn's time. But Louise knows that anything foolhardy could wreck her chances altogether. Perhaps she's saving herself for the cars coming up that she knows that she can perform well in. The Vauxhall and the Ford are maybe her favourites there. first of the hairpins. A good line through there, kept the power down well.
Left narrows, post.
And swiftly and pretty neatly through the second, but she's still 3 seconds down. And no chance of making that up, I'm sure, on the final run-in.
Short quick right, 30. Flat left maybe into short quick right, 70.
It's been a respectable opening drive. 2 minutes 16 for Louise Aitken-Walker, and Tina's pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that's good.
A poor start, though, must have robbed her of at least a couple of seconds. Blamed once again on problems with that Subaru gear change.
I'm not used to this gearbox, and I missed second gear and I couldn't find it, and I put it in third and I had to dip the clutch, you know, and you get all ruffled up. But there's a couple of times where I missed the gear change, but you know, that's no excuse, that's my fault. I've no four-wheel driving experience. I'm very happy that we're here with maybe 5 seconds behind David. At least we've not done anything stupid and got here, so that'll do us fine.
Good start.
Now, the debut on the Mobil 1 Rally Challenge for the Italian Alessandro Fiorio, works Lancia driver, runner-up in the '89 World Championship. Now for next year, he's a Ford Works driver, and he gets a taste of that via the motorhome computer. But behind the wheel of the Subaru, it's the real thing. His regular co-driver, Luigi Pirolo, alongside him, and it's amazing to think that this is Fiorio's first competitive drive in a British forest. 25 years old, he's a great talent, but his limited experience of a wider range of rally cars makes this a very interesting event for him, and it'll be good to see how he performs. He compares Penn Macno to the terrain for the American Olympus Rally, the World Championship round, in which he was placed second in 1988, so he might be a forest man after all. The first time check will maybe give us a clue. Fiorio into the wood yard, and through that time check, well, just a second outside the time set by David Llewellyn. Fiorio started competing in a Fiat Uno Turbo in 1985. He campaigned a Lancia from 1987, winning the Production Cup that year, and giving perfect support to Mickey Biasion as he won the world title in 1988 and 89. And not insignificant in Fiorio's background is that he's the son of the former Lancia rally boss Cesare Fiorio, who's now the boss of Ferrari's Grand Prix team, Mansell, Prost and all. So motorsport certainly in the blood. Alessandro, or Alex as he's better known in the sport, going pretty well. And you can see how low the sun is getting, nearly sunset on this Welsh hillside, and it may give those later drivers a bit of dazzle, especially on the open parts of the stage. Okay in the trees here. Headlights blazing as he approaches the first of the hairpins. And the technique round there a little cautious, but quick to get the power on. And remember, the second hairpin is also a timing point. And there we see Fiorio is ahead of Llewellyn. He's picked up 2 seconds on that middle section. Now foot hard to the floor down the closing stretch. And Fiorio makes it in 2 minutes 9 seconds, 2 seconds faster than Llewellyn, but he clearly thinks there that he should have pulled out more.